I have a request from one of you. One of you guys requested to see my top favorite satin powders, and I have a whole bunch here, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. I usually do like a top 5, a top 10, but today we're just gonna talk about all of them, all of the ones that I own, and kind of go through my thoughts of each one. So for me, satin can mean kind of like more glowy or more natural looking on the skin. It just depends. So I'm gonna go over both and kind of tell you guys which ones look a little bit more glowy and which ones look a little bit more subdued and satin, like more natural on the skin. So that way you can kind of see which ones you prefer. Also, I do have loose versus press. So we're gonna start off with the loose since there's less of those. First off, for the satin ones, I have to say the two that I like the most that don't give off like that too much of a shimmer, too much of a glow to the skin are the Hourglass Veil. This is absolutely amazing, beautiful on the skin. It just makes your skin look, you know, like luminous, but not to the point where it's way too glowy. Very, very gorgeous on the skin. The sifter on here is the only thing that I don't really care for too much because it has like a stopper on here and it's just like, I don't know, I wish they had done something a little bit different, but it's okay in the end. I just kind of cover it and then shake it, and then whatever's in there is what I use. But it is a very beautiful powder on. I do feel like it just gives a beautiful satin finish to the skin where it doesn't look, I am someone who doesn't like a matte look to the skin. I love when my skin has some kind of luminosity to it because I like the light to reflect off and make me look younger, basically. So I have a lot of these satiny, glowy powders because of that. So you're gonna hear me say that a lot. The other one that I really enjoy is the Tatcha, the silk powder, and both of these are pretty high end. I don't know if I have a drugstore version. Yes, I do have a drugstore, but more for the pressed ones. But this one from the Tatcha one is very similar to the Veil from the Hourglass. Same kind of gist to it. Really, really love it. Not way too glowy and gives a very like natural satiny look to the skin. And then for drugstore for loose, the only one that I have is the Coty Airspun. A lot of people don't like this because of the smell. I don't care about the smell. I actually enjoy the smell. I've been using this since I was in high school. I purchase it time and time again. This doesn't give as much of a satiny look as these other two, but this is something that was recommended to me even when I was in modeling school in high school. It's something that just makes your skin look flawless, beautiful, and it doesn't look way too matte. It just sets the foundation just very, very beautifully. I absolutely love this powder, and since my high school days they actually came out with like colors. So this one here is like the naturally neutral. They have about like only a few shades, but they do have the translucent as well, so that is available, and you can get this probably like for like $10, and there is quite a bit of product here. It will last you basically like a whole year. But if you're looking for a drugstore version, that's the one that I recommend. If you have any suggestions for drugstore versions of satin powders, leave them down below for me. I'm gonna try to share here ones that I've used, but you know, it just depends on your preference. Now for those that like more of a glow, not so much satin, but like a little bit more oomph, a little bit more glowy to the skin, more of that J-Lo kind of glow. For the loose powders, I have a drugstore one, and this is the Flower Miracle Glow. This is a satin one. It gives just a tad bit more than these other powders. It gives like a little bit of that glow to the skin. Absolutely love this. The only thing about this is that I wish that the freaking packaging wasn't so huge. That's the only downfall to that one. Next up is by Miss Jaclyn Hill. I live by this. I suggest getting this something similar to your skin color. So the one that I have is Carrots, and it's because it's very similar to my skin tone. If you get something that's too light, it's gonna look like a highlighter all over your face. And what you wanna do is just use a little bit on the cap and then swirl it around and just dust it all over. And it's gonna give you like that J-Lo glow lit from within. And this is called, I said the name, I got Carrots, but this is is called her Luminous Powder from Jaclyn Cosmetics, and I absolutely cannot live without this. I love, love, love the effect it gives my skin. And then the last one is by someone that a lot of people don't care for, so I don't know how many of you guys would actually buy this, but this is by Jeffree Star. This is the Luminous Setting Powder, and I am in the shade Beige. I would probably even go up a shade, but this one works fine for me, and it's the same kind of gist where I just put a little bit in the cap. With any of these glowy ones, I just kind of dust it all over my face to give myself a glow. I don't really like pack it on because then you're gonna overdo it. And with his, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, his has like a cotton candy smell to it, so that just depends on your preference to have fragrance or not, and if you care for the fragrance itself. But I actually like the smell of his powder, so that is another one. Now we're gonna go to pressed powders, and I have quite a bit here. There's one from the drugstore that I'm missing, which is a NYX one. I will try to put a picture around here. I love that one. I just got rid of it in my collection because it was getting too old, but it's one of their baked ones. If it's still available at Ulta, I'll put a picture around here. Love that one. It gives like a beautiful satin glow to the skin. You can wear it alone or set your foundation with it. Just absolutely gorgeous, and I definitely should purchase it, but as you guys know, I am on a low buy and I am trying to use what I have. So once I get some of these powders down, maybe I will repurchase it, but that one is absolutely amazing. So if you're looking for a drugstore one, that one is a great one to purchase. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations, like I said, leave them down below. And then another one of the pressed ones that I love and is actually in my project pan is this one by Smashbox. This is their Photo Filter Powder Foundation. I'm in the shade number 3. I freaking love this thing. I feel like Smashbox kicks it out of the ballpark when it comes to any kind of face product. They are absolutely amazing. Foundation, powders, primers, their stuff is absolutely amazing, and I feel like they don't get enough credit for it. They are actually known as being a photo studio, and their stuff looks amazing on camera, so I would definitely highly suggest checking them out. But this powder I love, 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 and as you can see, I've been doing so good on my project pan. I'm literally at the edge of this. Really, really beautiful, gives a nice natural finish to the skin. I have been using this like crazy, love it, and I think this is my second one. I just can't live without this powder. Very, very great one. Another one from Smashbox that gives that kind of like a satiny, not too glowy, but very natural look to the skin is this one by Smashbox as well. This one is kind of in a form of a lens, which I think is absolutely cute. And this is called their Photo Finish Fresh Setting Powder, and this is in the shade 1. This one is actually really cool because you actually shave the powder and get really fresh powder with every twist, and I absolutely love it. It sets your makeup beautifully, looks gorgeous on the skin. I highly recommend Smashbox. If you haven't tried them, give them a go. And then other ones that I highly recommend for, you know, for satiny look, not too glowy, is from MAC. This one's a little too light for me. This one I actually used to set my under eyes, but this is their Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, and this is in Light Plus. So this one that actually I set for my under eyes, but you can actually buy this in your own shade for your face, and very, very beautiful, not too glowy, very beautiful, like just overall setting powder for like that satin, more natural look to the skin. And those are the kind of powders, like I said, that I go for because matte powders just really age you, and so I use them very, very sparingly. I've actually considered like really decluttering a lot of them from my collection. Next up is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and this is another one. This one's super high end, and I absolutely love this stuff. The only thing is it's really, really pricey. Very beautiful on the skin. Sets your skin and just makes it look flawless, satiny, just very natural. I actually even own this. This is shade 2. This is for all over my face. And then I actually bought the mini one, and I set my under eyes with shade number 1. So I love, love, love this powder, and it just sets beautifully everywhere, even your under eyes, your face, the whole 9 yards. So you can see there shade 1 and shade 2. These are spectacular, and they don't give extra glow. They just kind of give like that very satin natural finish to the skin. Now for the glowy pressed powders, oh, wait. I have another loose one that I forgot to mention. It was hiding here because it's a tiny one. This is by Laura Mercier, and this is her translucent loose setting powder in Glow. I do the same thing that I do with the Jacqueline one, and this is kind of very similar, but this one is only available in one shade, and it's kind of like a kind of like beigey gold, so it just depends on your undertone. With the Jacqueline Cosmetics, you're able to choose which shade would fit you better, and she has some that are more rosy undertone. She has really nice ones for darker skin tones. With the Laura Mercier, if I'm not mistaken, she only has this one, this Glow. Really nice, and it fits really nicely with my skin tone, so I do use it and I really enjoy it. But I just say that just in case. It just depends on your skin tone, but this one gives a beautiful glow to the skin, and it is a golden undertone, which really goes with my skin type as well, like my undertones. So that's another loose one. It was hiding underneath all of these other ones. So now we're gonna go into pressed glowy ones. So this one's glowy, but not too bad. Just a little bit step up from the Charlotte Tilbury and MAC. And this is the Sephora Micro Smooth. I have this in the shade medium. Very, very beautiful. It kind of gives like a satin with just a tiny bit of a glow to the skin. And I absolutely love this. Available in so many shades. This is from the Sephora brand collection, and I feel like not enough people talk about that. They have a lot of hidden gems in the Sephora collection, and definitely check them out. And like I said, I'm in the shade medium 30, and like I said, this is called the Micro Smooth, and it's a baked face compact. Then there's the one from Huda Beauty. This is called the Glowish. I have it in light medium, and this one is one that I don't really use like excessively. I kind of use a big brush and kind of dust all over. Same thing with kind of like those more glowy ones. Because this one is so glowy, you don't want to put it in areas where it can accentuate any of your texture or pores. That's something to watch out for with glowy powders, is that it can accentuate stuff like that, so you want to be a little bit cautious. But I absolutely love this powder, and what I do with most of these really glowy ones is that I take a big brush like this. This one is from Delium. This is their highlighting fan, but as you can see, this is like massive for highlighting, and I actually use this for powder, and I kind of just dust into powder like this, and then just kind of like dust it into the areas that I want to kind of just give me a little bit of a glow without overdoing it. And I absolutely love this powder for that. I think she did a phenomenal job. The only thing is that I wouldn't use it the way she actually had kind of shown, where she used like a sponge and actually like, you know, applied this heavily on the skin. Because it's so glowy, it actually just accentuates a lot of texture, and to me this is more for like just dusting it all over to kind of give you a glow to the skin. And then another one that I absolutely love for kind of dusting all over is the Shape Tape by Tarte. This is a glow powder. You would actually use this as a highlight if you concentrated it, because it's more of a glowy one. But same thing, I kind of just dust a little bit like that, just to have a little bit on the tips. And then my face is gonna get like super glowy, but just kind of dust it all over the face to kind of give a glow to the skin. And then I feel like they're the ones who started this whole thing, is Hourglass. Hourglass has so many shades of their ambient powders, and I absolutely love them. These little palettes like this are absolutely amazing. One of my favorite ones is this one, which I've actually hit pan on, if you can see around there. And this one is called Radiant Light. I use this for all over the face, and I just love the effect that it gives. This is more of that glow from within, that JLo look. And they have various different palettes. They have different various single forms, and these powders just kind of like radiate light from your skin and make your skin look beautiful and glowy, and in pictures just radiant. It's just absolutely beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love this. Very similar to the other glowy products. You don't want to apply this to areas where you have any kind of texture or big pores or stuff like that. You want to be a little bit cautious, or just very light-handed. Like I said, use a big fluffy brush and just kind of, you know, like dust it on a little bit and just give that oomph to the skin. And then the last two that I want to talk about is, I don't know if they still have this available, because I know Becca was bought by a company. I can't remember who. I'll probably put it around here. And I'm not sure if they're still making some of these products, but this is the Becca Light Shifter Finishing Veil. And this one is in shade 2. Same thing is that I kind of just dust this on and then just dust it all over, and it gives kind of like that glow from within without overdoing it, because I don't want to actually like look like I have glitter all over my face. Like here, this is actually like a highlight with glitter, and I don't want that all over my face. I just want to kind of look glowy and kind of have the light reflect from my face. So this is one of the ones that I really enjoy, and like I said, this is one of those more glowy ones. Not too much of a satin, but more towards like glowy. So this is kind of like satin and glowy all in one. And then the last one is by Jaclyn Hill. This is a translucent one. I wish this one was came in different shades because I feel like the white's a little bit too stark white for my skin tone. I know that I have a lot of lights on here, but I'm a little bit darker than what you guys see here. Just a tad bit, just a little bit. But this white is like, as you can see there, it's like stark white against my skin tone. So I have to be super light-handed with this, because you can get a white cast with this powder. So I'm super light-handed with this powder and just really dust it all over. But it's the same thing. It kind of just gives that like glowy from within kind of look to the skin. Very, very beautiful. I just wish she would come out with actual skin tone colors. Like if she came out with the same formula but in this kind of color, this would be absolutely beautiful. I just wish she had more skin tones. And I know that this was kind of like, she just did one to kind of see how people liked it, and I don't know if people liked it because of the fact that there was only white available. I think that was the thing that most people had issues with, was like it having a white cast on their skin. But it is very beautiful. I am kind of like on that mid-tone range where I can still kind of get away with it, but I have to be light-handed with it. And those are all the powders. I know that I talked about like a zillion powders in this video, but I couldn't just like pick a top 5. I wanted to kind of explain a little bit of each one and kind of give you guys a rundown on why I like which ones and which ones look like what, etc. So hopefully this was helpful to some of you guys. If you're looking for something a little bit more on the more natural satin side, loose versus pressed, and whether you want something a little bit more glowy and more like baba boom in your face. And yeah, hopefully any of those tips or tricks helped you. Let me know down below. Give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And yeah, leave your requests down below. I've been getting to them little by little. So hopefully if you requested this, hopefully this helped you. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.